Hey, Colby and Kaui here from Downingtown Life and KCMG Real Estate Advisors. And today we have the pleasure to be joined by Rich from Rich Mitchell Creative. Welcome, Rich.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity.
No problem. Why don't we just jump right in? Can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and what inspiration you had to share your artwork?
Sure. So I live here in Downingtown. I have 3 kids. So I was a teacher and educational leader for almost 20 years. And now I started my art business. And like I said, it all happened because I was working with my son and he was struggling with anxiety and perfectionism. And that's what I had struggled with. And we were able to work some things out and now here I am.
All right. And so how many years ago was that?
That was in November of 24.
Recent.
Just over a year ago was when I started the business.
Okay, wonderful. Tell us a little bit about the artwork that you do. I know you do some prints and you also do commission pieces. So what was happening back in 2024 that said, you know what, I'm going to start sharing this with other people?
Sure. So I was working with my son and when my son started having the same issues and he loved drawing, but he wasn't having any fun doing it. And I took the opportunity to come back and draw alongside him. And I was able to, really help him and through that help myself. So I started drawing. I had a few pictures and then I posted a picture of Estrella and East Branch Brewing Company in Downingtown. And someone really liked it and someone bought it and then someone asked me to do a commission. And so I did that and then it, just kind of spiraled from there. It's been, like I said, it's been really, really fun. And every time I do something, almost it's a new experience. I started drawing and it was 5x7 and 7x9 pieces of paper. And now my latest commission was 24x36. So they've definitely grown, which has been, been a lot of fun.
So it sounds like something emerged for you during that process. You kind of moved away from that anxiety and desire to seek perfectionism. So how has that kind of influenced the type of art that you're doing now and the connection that you have to that?
Sure. So the work that I do, it's similar to what I used to do in that it's pen and ink, it's watercolor, and it's marker. The work that I used to do is called pointillism, and that was all black and white dots. And it was very tedious and very structured, and it had, like I said, it had to be perfect. Now, the work that I do now, I actually deliberately make mistakes. That's what I was trying to help my son with, because if you go out and you just like scribble on something and make the mistake, before you even start, there's nothing you can do but go up from there. So now I'm throwing color around, I'm throwing paint around. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing, so I just do it to the best of my ability, and it comes out really well.
Yeah, I think that too. I think that about myself. I'll see something on Instagram and I'm like, I could totally do that. That's how it starts. But you never know how it starts. And so it's just so creative. People think like, I got to be born with that creativity. But there's a technique to it, So you spent a lot of time in education, working with young people. Can you tell us a little bit about how those years might have shaped the way that you think about creativity and self-worth and the message that you're trying to share through your art now?
Sure. And I appreciate the question, because going back to that, the idea of creativity, the important part of creativity is that you have fun. Do something that you think you'll love or that you've always wanted to do, and just do it badly, but just do it. Honestly, that's like the secret. It's just like sitting down and saying like, oh, I want to do oil painting, and just like get some oil paints off of Facebook Marketplace and do it. As far as education, I worked with very, very highly anxious kids. I was the theater director in my school, and theater draws the kids that are, they're unique and they're special, and they're looking for a world. And the theater brings those kids together, and to be able to be the person that provided that space for the kids, that was the most impactful piece of my educational career. And so when I talk about creativity and I talk about having fun and doing things creatively, I hearken back to those kids, because kids have so much going on. And I want to make sure that the education piece has really sparked my effort to continue this work, because what I try to do is help kids to get over that anxiety, get over that perfectionism, and just, like we've said, create something and enjoy what they're creating and create some self-worth at the same time.
So you grew up in Wallingford, And what early influences do you see from like family, community, environment that are showing up in your work now, whether it's intentional or unintentional?
Sure. So it's funny, as I was thinking about this, I feel like I came from the expectation of perfection. I don't mean that in any sort of negative way toward my influences. So I didn't have like art influences. The things that influenced me were more just like the way that I live my life, which is sort of this high aspirational goal of being perfect. And you can't live like that. And I didn't figure that out till I was, 50 years old, fighting. I think so. To come back to my youth, it's really, I had an art teacher. I learned how to do the pointillism through Mrs. Brightfeller, who was my middle school art teacher. I remember that project that I did with the pointillism, and then I remember I did a stencil picture with fish, with one of the fighting fish. And I remember her saying, like, I wasn't shading anything. I was doing very direct colors. And I was in 7th grade, I think. And I remember where I was and when she said that. And so I guess as I'm talking, I'm realizing that was a bit of an influence, but otherwise, it was sort of the mindset that I had growing up that took me all the way till I was, 50, 51 years old, and realized I don't have to be perfect. Yeah. I don't have to try to be perfect. I know I'm not perfect in everything, but the discovery was not having to try to always be perfect.
Yeah, I think that perfectionism, or the idea of especially as a kid, but as an adult, I mean, we all deal with it at some point. Like, I'm not going to try it. What if it's not good? What if it is good? What if it succeeds? What if it doesn't succeed? You just got to do something. And to your point of, you mentioned your art teacher in middle school. I remember my art teacher in middle school too, Miss Gervais. Mm-hmm. They're impactful to your life. And so tell us a little bit about the transition from your educational career into building a creative practice, as far as that being your main thing now, right? Because you're not teaching anymore.
Right.
And how that plays a broader role in helping the community and where people can find your work.
So I think leaving education, when you're an educator, I believe you're always an educator. And when I left education, I was ready to be done. I was uninterested in any of it. I had a career and it became a job. The opposite of what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to go into a job and create a career out of it. And I had this amazing career that I really thought was amazing. And as I continued, it was kind of like a slog of, having a job. And so when I left, it was like I couldn't get out fast enough. But then I missed certain aspects of it, as anyone would. But so going back to the kids that I cared about, you care about all the kids, right? But the kids in the theater program were the ones that really stuck with me, because they felt like the ones that truly needed someone like me who would allow them the space and take the time. I also had, I taught English, and kids come into English class and they think they have to write perfectly. And they would come in senior year and they're like, I didn't know I could just make mistakes and not worry about being perfect grammatically, and just send my message and then worry about all that. So when I message, and all the things I'm doing with my artwork are really aimed at helping kids, helping adults, helping people just live a fun and more creative life, just because I believe that's how it's supposed to be. And I figured it out at 51 years old. I'm trying to help people see it when they're 13 or when they're 40. And so that's how I'm trying to get my work out there as much as possible. It's been really amazing, the response that I've gotten. It wouldn't be a business if it wasn't for the response that I've gotten. And as I've kind of encapsulated what I want to do, that's where the anti-perfectionism comes in, and the anti-anxiety, and helping people get over those things. So I have my work in a restaurant in Wayne called Christopher's. Yeah. I have it in a barbershop right now. And so I'm trying to get it out there, just sort of on display.
I know.
And so, helping people see it, seeing it on Facebook and all the different social media aspects, and people sharing it and saying this is really cool and it makes me feel a certain way. That's really what's important to me. I'm my ability to create something that's fun and exciting, and freshen up people's walls and freshen up office walls. With what I do has been, there's a mix of both. And so that's how I'm trying to get people to see and get people to understand that those are the big color and big of color and screwball mistakes. All that can be a lot of fun to have in an office or in a house.
That's really, really great. Really interesting. I love the story. I did not know that story before today. So I really appreciate seeing where you've gotten, knowing your artwork now and how it's gotten there. It's really fascinating. So thank you for spending the time with us today. Remember, Downingtown Life, KCMG Real Estate Advisors, Rich Mitchell Creative. Keep supporting our local community. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.